Yeah, someone stole a telescope from the big observatory. Yeah, no, the police have found it near to the observatory, yeah. Yeah, they're looking into it now. Wah. That's a really bad joke. That was a dad joke, but technically I can actually do dad jokes, can't I, really? Anyway, I'm going to leave you to all laugh that off and, you know, take a minute. What are we doing tonight? Well, we are looking at more scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hello, here, Odessa. Good to see you. Yes, so tonight, or whenever you're watching it, because I feel like people might end up rewatching this, or at least watching it as a video, because it is quite a, you know, it's quite a popular name, FlyTampa. It's quite a favored developer when it's in terms of big sceneries, and Vegas, obviously a lot of people bought it a long time back, and it is now available working for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's been updated, version 3, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna take off from Henderson Executive, just on the I wouldn't even say the outskirts of Vegas, because it's sort of, you know, quite central. I wouldn't call it the outskirts of Vegas, but we're going to start at Henderson. We're going to do some flying. We're going to have a little look around at the site. We'll turn it tonight and obviously see Vegas as it's more sort of commonly seen, you know, the City of Lights, Sin City. My favourite CSI of the 3 or 4 of them that they did, or whatever it was, CSI, the original CSI Vegas, or just crime scene investigation. Anyway, we're gonna have a look at it. I'm gonna talk you through my thoughts. I'm gonna talk you through what I've discovered, and talk about things that have been said and things that have been discovered. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna say this is fantastic. It is great. It's great. It's a great scenery. It always has been, in my opinion. But obviously, this isn't just the airport. The thing to mention here, this is FlyTampa Las Vegas. It's not Harry Reid, McCarran, whatever. It's the city. So let's get into it, guys. I want to go through it and try and be as thorough as possible. On Monday, I'll be going live. There's going to be a fair few live streams actually coming up. We've got Monday. We're going to take a look back, or I'm going to take a look back at some of the Polish airports that I've missed from Żywiecki Designs. After his freeware that he brought out, his lovely payware quality freeware, I got my hands on Warsaw chopping, and Katowice. I'm gonna just take a look at those both on the same live stream coming Monday, and then please keep an eye on the channel, on my Discord and social media. I will be going live with IndyBuilds Dallas Fort Worth at some point. Maybe not next week, maybe the week after, maybe in 2 months. I don't know, but I will be coming. It will be soon. Let's get into it, guys. So yeah, I've just started on the runway in the good old 172 because why not? I'm not going to bother taxiing now. There's no point. I really hope there's no buffering in this live stream like last time. Although people seem to think there wasn't any buffering. There definitely was buffering, but anyway, if you didn't get any buffering, fantastic. So you still use an Echo 19 sound pack for the 172. Clear skies over Vegas. This isn't live weather. I don't think it is anyway. If you do enjoy the live stream tonight, please make sure you leave. Get involved in the chat if you like. You don't need to, obviously. You can lurk and just watch it, but please do leave a like and even share the stream. That would really help. I do make all my streams available to watch afterwards, and as I've said about 400 times in every last stream I've done for about a year, I have got some pre-recorded videos going into the editing room soon. I am literally finishing them off over these next couple of days now. I'm on the second to last one now, halfway through that, and then I've got another one, and then I'm gonna edit them together and get them all done. Some nice freeware sceneries to discover. One thing I would say straight off the bat, this is an improvement over what we had before. Certainly I had Vegas by FlyTampa, and it wasn't pretty. The whole scenery, the airport itself, there was like the runway was like a skateboard half pipe, you know. it was dreadful. There was no way you could actually use the airport. What I would say is that it's a lot better. The city photogrammetry in Vegas does blend very well, or rather the actual scenery landmarks do blend in very well with FlyTampa's scenery. So we do have some custom modeled POIs, or points of interest. That's a given. But they do blend with photogrammetry, so you will see some sort of inconsistencies of the building's modeling, but it's I would say the coloring, so that's a big thing. Go away. One thing I would say is I've noticed other scenery packs, ones that are city packs, they don't blend extremely well with the photogrammetry around them, or even the photogen. Not the photogen, the auto-generated buildings. The colouring just a bit off. It looks the contrast and obviously stuff like that doesn't really match. I have to say that this does. It really does. Aerodessa asking Watson, go away. I don't want to. Go away. Aerodessa asking me what the performance is like over the strip. I will try and go as low as possible, but from what so performance right now is fine. while I was getting the thumbnails a couple of days ago, I was in drone mode. Performance for me on my system, bit stuttery. Frame rates were fine, but the stutters were there. Certainly not amazing, but there were stutters, and to be very honest, and again, my opinion is that there's going to be stutters. If you look at the space in Vegas, it's all photogrammetry, and the photogrammetry is quite good as well. Photogrammetry is really nice. I haven't got any real traffic in, but I could inject that into the live stream a bit later on for sure. I could use that while I've still got my license. So, a bit of an overview. What I will do is I will stick the overlay. We're in the red, but we're on 52 frames per second. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. This has already had a let's call it a hot fix, but we already are on version 3.1 now for this, and I will try and explain quite a lot. I won't be able to show you now, but basically version 3 came out, and over to this side, I don't know if it's the south, the west, or whatever, but over this side of the airfield, this had a massive plateau, a massive big hill, making it virtually impossible to land on the runway here. It was up in the air, it looked a bit wrong. Now, from what I can see, it looks like the same is present here now, which I have read up in. So I have been on the forums and I have been reading people's comments. So I am taking things into account, and I can actually see it does look like there's a bit of a hill going on. And as most of you know, Vegas is pretty flat. There shouldn't be any kind of elevation changes around this area. But in terms of performance, quite nice. What I would say is version 3 wasn't great on release. There was a lot of issues, and I think the problem here is the fact that this add-on has been in the making for a number of years. It has taken a while for FlyTampa to get this one out, and when it came out, obviously people were like, wait, hang on a minute, you've cocked this one up a bit. To be very fair to them, it came out 3 days ago, 3.1. Those issues were fixed, but then a few more issues arose. So I've just got FlyTampa's for Facebook post up here, a changelog for version 3.1, January 20th. Fixed mesh elevation problems around the city, fixed photogrammetry areas, fixed light source issues, and fixed misaligned jetways. That was another thing. There was a couple of jetways, I think, on the newer concourse, C or B or D even, and the jetways weren't actually connected to the terminal. They fixed that. But like I said, it's not all great news. In the process of fixing it, there has been other issues arose. I am just typing in, I'm just trying to get the forum post here, guys, because I want to go through some of the things. As much as I can, because I want to, you know, I think sometimes people think that I think this is it now. I think sometimes people think that I'm a bit too easy on some things, and I honestly, with the channel, I do like to, even if I'm working with particular things, listen, if I'm on Indie Build scenery and I'm doing an Indie Builds live stream or whoever, if there's an issue, then we see it on the live stream. I'm not hiding it, you know? So, yeah. I wanted to make sure that with this live stream, I'm not just saying it's all hunky-dory, it's lovely, it works. Because for the most part, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, there is some things. Now, I've seen a couple of comments saying for the airport itself, Glide Slope Pro, I believe they're called. I haven't actually seen it, but I believe performance-wise and the interior of the airport seems to be a bit more favourable than FlyTampa's. But again, I couldn't tell you that, unfortunately. So yeah, the plateau on approach to runway 26 has been fixed in 3.1. Flattened photogrammetry south of the airport has been fixed. Lights disappearing has been fixed. First set of ghost buildings fixed but reappear north of the airport. North of the airport elevation is supposed to be Vegas supposed to be flat. Ramp elevation, I can show you that hasn't been fixed. Flattened photogrammetry still on approach to 26, and ghost buildings are north. Now ghost buildings, I wasn't quite sure what ghost buildings were, but apparently just sort of when you look on from the sort of a ground level and you look out into the distance, you can kind of see, yeah, kind of outlines of buildings like ghost buildings. But I will love Glide Slope's Pro's version. Its performance is amazing for VR. See, this is the thing as well. You might want to, obviously, for flying a lot in VR, you are going to want a scenery aircraft, even, but scenery, airport scenery, city scenery that is performance friendly, so that you can get the most out of VR and crank the settings up. This isn't free, unfortunately, Tom. This is another thing I will. This is why I've put in the description, is it worth the upgrade, on various posts of mine, and I think in the description as well. Is it worth the upgrade? Because there is an upgrade fee. I think it's around, let me just see, there's an actual, there's a picture here. $5.75. That is what it's showing on Orbex right now. This is from a screenshot. On Sim Market, it's down as €6 including VAT. Sphere isn't working, but it does from a certain time. I don't know how correct this is. I did have this disabled, and it was the same in the default scenery, but the Sphere at night will work, so I think that's probably a good time to throw it into night time. The pattern changes every hour or so, so whatever time you're at. I've also noticed the Sphere model in the daytime is fantastic. It really is good. This is a lot better than the default one. But yes, there is an upgrade fee. Basically, I think it's equivalent to about £5 in the UK. You know, around $6, €6, and this is why I've sort of asked the question: is it worth the upgrade? Because there is still issues after so much time, do you know what I mean? So the question, what you've got to ask yourself is that, is it worth spending the money to upgrade? Because it's not a free upgrade, it is paid. Granted, it's some developers I've seen £2 or £3 for upgrade fees. £5 seems to be the middle ground. You have noticed we've actually dropped around, I would say around 10 FPS easily with the light show going on. But I will just ascend higher just to see. Yeah, you can see kind of we are quite low as well. Paolo, good to see you. Alright, Gladescopes works day and night, and the pattern changes every 10 to 20 seconds. I don't know if it works in the day in real life. That's something to probably look at as well. I'm assuming it probably does work in the daytime. Again, Gladescope Pro, that they provide the city scenery as well. Because actually, before looking into this stream and doing the stream, I actually hadn't heard of Gladescope Pro's version of Vegas. But what I will do, guys, is obviously I will land the aircraft at some point in the stream and will use the drone camera. The reason I use the drone camera is just to get a bit closer to things, and I can show you various issues that are still arose. Yes, yeah, Thompson, yeah, it does. My version 2 is just completely incompatible with 2024. What I would say is anyone who's on 2024 has this and wants the Vegas to work again, yes, it is worth it, but please know that there is still some issues. That's the best thing I can say. It's a great add-on. Visually, it's lovely. The actual points of interest are really, really cool. The airport's not bad. If I'm comparing, say, for example, FlyTampa's Humberside to this Vegas, then obviously the Humberside, yeah, okay, it's a small percentage of the size of Harry Reid or McCarran, whatever, but their their Humberside scenery is just miles better in terms of quality and just overall polish. That's all I'm gonna say. But remember, this is double the size. Yeah. Interesting there, Odessa. It'd be nice if I could get my hands on Gladescope Pro's version, possibly do a comparison of some kind. What I am going to do for you guys as well, I am just going to pop some real-time traffic in to obviously Harry Reid Vegas Airport, just to have a look at it. But as I say, I do want to have a little look around with the drone camera, show you some of the issues that are still present in the scenery. But hopefully with me doing this live stream, for anyone on the fence about still upgrading, you can make that decision. Any questions, obviously let me know in the comments, or if you're rewatching, again, let me know. You'll also see the newer things. I'll try and look at the newer points of interest as well. Just to go through it, I've put the Sim Market link in the description. It's in the new version 3. Oh, how cool is that? Sorry guys, but how cool is this? So you can actually see a lot going on here. You've got a lot of aircraft there. You've got 2 on approach here, and one there just popping down. Really cool. So version 3 of Vegas corrected airport elevation to match the real world data. Well, yeah. Fixed ILS approaches with navigation aids, updated Vegas scenery, reworked taxiways and layout, added taxiway C, added Top Golf Vegas. I'll show you that. That's quite cool. Added the Formula 1 circuit layout, improved lighting and visual effects. Again, the lighting would have been improved over version 2 in 2020 with obviously 2024's lighting engine. Replace numerous library objects and improved performance and LOD. If you're buying it just for the first time, the base features are McCarran or Parry Reed, whatever. Airport modelled with PBR materials. Vegas modelled with custom buildings and animations. 3D bridges, animated vehicles and trains. Sloped airport terrain. Well, it definitely was, wasn't it, in the end? Dynamic lighting and animated jetways. Has the airport visually improved interior? They updated one of the concourses. I think it was C. But in terms of interiors, I don't think they've updated the airport much, if I'm going to be honest. This is partly the reason why people are a bit, let's say disappointed, but also going into version 3, there were issues straight off the bat that really shouldn't have been there. The airport, not structurally or visually, they definitely have done improvements to, I believe it's is it Concourse C? I think, I'm pretty sure it is. I think it's this one here. I will go round and have a look, and obviously Thompson, you'd probably be a bit better of a person because I had version 2 a hell of a long time ago and haven't been back to it since I tried it in 2024 when it first come out, and obviously it looked terrible. Let's get down onto the ground. Also, as well, guys, I was working on, let's see if I can get this to no, I won't do. I won't do. I was gonna do a bit of Rex Atmos there, but I won't. Not today. I was fiddling around with it last night, trying to improve it. One of my presets. So over here, you can actually see Top Golf. Just over to the left, I think the mouse should be highlighting it, hopefully. And the Formula 1, I think that is it there. I think it's just the obviously it's not the circuit, the whole circuit, it's just the I don't even know what it's called, the grandstand, the finish line, the stands. Yeah. I didn't bother with version 2, mate. I tried to take off from one of the runways, and it was, as I say, it was like a skateboard half pipe. But I tell you what, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? But like I say, I am going to show you some of the elevation issues, and then it's really up to you guys on sort of on what course of action you can take. Remember, if you do want this version, it is going to cost you, and it's going to cost you around £5 in the UK. Around that, I would say probably maybe a bit lower, maybe something more along the £4 range. It's €6 on Sim Market for your upgrade. I think it's €23, €24 outright if you want to buy it. But I tell you what, look at that. I think it's probably one of the best mixtures of photogrammetry and point of interest, because it blends in so well. The photogrammetry and there's just so many actual model buildings in this, but they do blend. You can see the Formula 1 track here, just sort of the bandstand, whatever you call it. One small thing I never understood with FlyTampa is why their terminal glasses only see through from outside. I can't look at the aircraft inside. Yeah. See, I don't know if you've watched any of my live streams before, Tom. I do apologise. I don't know if it's either that you might not sort of chat loads, but if you do, I apologise. I really do. But you'll know that glass on a terminal on an airport is one of my big things. Well, one of my big things. Surrounding fences is another for me, but developers who can get the glass on a terminal building correctly, it's just amazing. They look so cool when it's done correctly. We'll have a little look though, for sure. There's a, looks like a Frontier A320 on the taxi out to the runway there. This traffic here on the ground is actually real-time traffic, guys. It's one I've been using for my virtual plane spotting live streams. Oh, what's that? Is that a Air France A350? It is, isn't it? Hey, look at that. Glideslope Pro's interior is amazing throughout the entire airport, and there's no hit. I need to have a look here, Odessa. I really, really do, mate. I really do. I'm going to try and land on the runway here at Harry Reid, and then we can have a little look around. What I would say is that it might change, but when I use the drone camera, performance in terms of stutters, it seems to really turn into a stutter fest, unfortunately. Not really seeing that while flying, which is quite funny. But yeah, we'll have a look around the airport. And like I said, when the version 3 came out, this was purely just a massive big hill, from what I understand. I didn't see it, unfortunately. I think I actually put this into my sim just after 3.1 came out, so I didn't actually see any of the issues. Tom, I apologise, mate. I'd like to keep sort of track on people's names and who's watching. So I do apologise, but I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. I know a lot of people sort of do just lurk and just have a little watch, little listen. I don't know if we're gonna land any good here, and I don't even know what the turn is. It could land me up to one of the runways. We'll see. Just about. There's actually an aircraft taking off on that runway. I don't know if that's that Air France aircraft or it's taxiing. I am just going to do a sloppy little turn onto here, ignoring any kind of ATC. Whoa. Don't know if they're using this runway as a taxiway. Quite interesting. Well, he definitely did, didn't he? He used the runway as a taxiway there. So as I say, guys, the air tracker that I'm using here, that you can see, it's actually it's not at all interactable. It's actually just real-time traffic. So everything that you're seeing right now on the screen is actually what's happening at Vegas right now. So there's no way these aircraft will move out my way or know that I'm going anywhere. So all good. I don't chat often as many people as well as understand. Oh yeah, no worries. I've noticed they are always using that runway as a taxiway. Interesting. They must do in real life, because again, this traffic right here is real time. It's showing exactly what's happening at Harry Reid right now, so they must use it. But I guess it's the same as Gatwick, because obviously they have two runways, don't they? And I think only one is used now. But as you can see, once I've got on the ground here, it's a bit stuttery, isn't it? Flying above is absolutely fine. Oh, we are, look. We were on the right runway. Hey. Delta 737 there. Oh, 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 oh. I'm distracted by the air You didn't see it. You didn't see it, guys. Just ignore me. trying to get off the runways. Oh, look, there's the old TWA livery there. Yeah, I had too much power on. I've done that a few times before. It's because I'm not watching what I'm doing. Why is it? Why is it pulling me over to the right? Oh, anyway. I'm gonna get the drone camera out, guys. That's enough flying for me for one day. Or year. Not doing that again. So, here we are at the airport. Now, you'll notice that the frame rate top right of the screen here, I've dropped actually quite a lot. We're down to the we're down to the 30s now. In the air over Vegas, you know, we were hitting above 50, 40-ish with the lights at night time. Now, what I do want to show you guys is, first of all, is I believe there is elevation issues. Yeah, there we go. I believe this is something that was not apparent in version 3, but is actually a thing now. So there is that. Yeah. Again, this is a paid upgrade, guys. So even so, if it was a free upgrade, I don't think it's you know, I understand development is hard, and you know, it happens with everything, absolutely everything. Any game, you know, not just a flight simulator, anything. You fix one thing, you break another. After seeing some of the sort of the issues that developers do face with flight simulation development, sceneries, aircraft, I can understand it's quite easy to fix one thing and break another. But again, it is a paid upgrade. Now, ignore the traffic, guys. The traffic, it's not perfect, but it's fun. It's fun. We're not here to look at the traffic anyway. So, with saying that though, look at that for a shot. I always get that message when zooming in. So this is, I believe this is a new, not a new terminal, but the one that they've upgraded substantially. I believe it is anyway. I can't 100% confirm. I think it is. But we'll have a look inside. And I think these are the jet bridges that weren't connected. So when version 3 released initially, these jet bridges, or at least these or somewhere else, they weren't connected. There was a massive big gap in between, expecting passengers to jump over. Let's have a little look. I think this is the terminal that they've upgraded. I think it is. And again, I do appreciate the animated cars. They're not the, I'd say the most up-to-date modelled. I mean, they look like cardboard, but you know, it's nice. It's nice to have them. You know, it's pretty cool to see some animated assets. I do like it when developers put some animated stuff in. See, for example, the coach looks a bit nicer, doesn't it? But yeah. Even so, it's just nice to see the airport feel a bit more alive than what it is without those animated cars and coaches and stuff like that. And you can see that they have put them in all the way through the sort of the airport network of roads as well. Lovely Delta A350 there. Very easy to get distracted by the traffic. So I don't think there's any airside, but there is definitely And inside, now you guys might have to help me, so if you are rewatching the stream or you're watching now, you'll have to help me on this, because I can't remember, but I'm fairly certain this terminal was not like this. It looks like it's reworked. I think it's Terminal E. I can't remember. Honestly, I think this is Gates D, but that's Gates E and 1. I think when looking on Google Maps, this is Concourse E. I think it is the one that they've upgraded. It certainly looks, from what I can remember, the main terminal, it certainly looks a hell of a lot better than what it used to be. Like the quality in the interior, for example. Yeah, look at this. Now, is that just a picture, or... Yeah, the lighting's not too bad. Wait, look at that. Whoa. Not bad, but again, well, at least you can look outside the windows now. Yeah, for sure, definitely. But again, you know, only at certain angles can you actually see that there's a, you know, a sheet of glass there. You know, you can see it. I'm literally, I'm not going to nitpick on panes of glass here, but you know, when you get to a certain point, you can receive reflections outside. When you get inside, it's quite similar. But yeah, you can see through them. Got some obligatory slot machines here. By the way, obviously, what I would say is that it is all dependent on the developer implementing the new lighting and you know, making sure it looks nice. But the new lighting system, the new lighting engine in 2024 is absolutely incredible. It really is nice. Look at this, by the way. That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I would say this is probably more than the upgraded one. I'm interested to see, because I don't really want to spend loads of time inside the airport as well. I want to try and even it out, especially because on Monday I have to try and get through 2 payware sceneries from Sovietsky Design. So slot machines are nicer than Glidestone Pros. I still need to have a look at it though. I'd love to do some definitely sort of comparisons on the two of them. It does look nice. It really does. Night lighting looks really, really nice. Elevated to nowhere. Yeah, you know what? You know, it looks lovely. I think they've done really well with sort of, you know, upgrading here. And listen, I'm not going to go into I guess the politics and the should developers charge. I think developers are within their right to charge upgrade fees, because at the end of the day, even smaller developers, because they've had to go back and use man time to upgrade the scenery. If it's a compatibility update, absolutely not. I just don't feel I don't feel developers should. I think to make a scenery compatible for 2024, I say it loosely, but it shouldn't be a massive task for them. They should just make it compatible, and then you know, let previous owners have it for free. If you've spent time in removing models, making new models, updating things, absolutely, yeah. If you've there's been man time put into it, and you've had to either stop current development, or you've had to allocate some of your team away from a current development, then absolutely, if people want to moan about upgrade fees, then, you know, just wait until you're doing it yourself and you find that you absolutely cannot justify putting man hours into an already active, you know, an already built project, and have to go back to it and then maybe put, you know, stop your current new airport. Do you know what I mean? You know, the pics of it all on my Discord channel. I will have a look, mate. I'll have a look, definitely. But yeah, I know some people aren't fussed with upgrades fees, and I don't really want to speak too much about it, but it is what it is. Developers need to, you know, either pay the team, pay themselves. I don't know why he keeps on doing this. Pay themselves, pay the team, you know. Right, anyway. Yeah, so the thing is, Tom, I mean, obviously the train issues can be fixed. You know, so obviously that was when version 3 came out. That was the thing, wasn't it? There was just too many terrain issues. You know, there was a massive big, like, visible plateau, as in massive big hill over here. That was just insane, like, as in you just couldn't make a landing into the airport type situation. Not the best way to introduce version 3 to existing users, or even new users. They have obviously fixed that quite promptly, which is nice, but there is more issues. Obviously, we've had a little look at the elevation issues there. I believe there's some more over by the city. We'll get to those when we go over to the city, and I can show you the Golf and the Formula 1 track. But again, I remember this side of the airport a bit better than Terminal E. So let's have a little look in here. Now, windows seem quite frosted. I can only imagine they probably are a bit like shaded, frosted in Nevada because of the sun and the heat. No, you can't see out of them. There you go, Tom. No, this hasn't been upgraded, by the way. You can see that Terminal E we've just been in there, absolutely miles ahead. Like, this is still, yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? It is really terrible. For me, I am just going to say, FlyTampa, I absolutely love you. Your Humberside is up there, one of my favourite sceneries, like, ever. I absolutely love Humberside. If you're going to charge people an upgrade fee, £5 or whatever, you should have done this as well. I again, don't know what anyone else's opinion on that is, but really this should mirror Concourse E. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. This is like, that was like going from PS5 graphics to PS2 graphics. Let me just look at that. That wall's cardboard, and it's not even visible on that side either. Granted, you're probably not supposed to be in here because there wasn't any passages in the other terminal, but you can see it, you know what I mean? It's only supposed to be see-through, and that's probably why they shaded the windows a bit, because that's what it looks like. Again, I haven't looked through the terminal properly since I've upgraded. I've had a look at the city and done the thumbnails. Like I always say, guys, when I'm doing scenery, live stream reviews, previews, I do like to keep everything to my first impressions, as well as yours. But yeah, no. Yeah, it is outdated. Yeah, it is outdated, Tom. You're right. It really is. Terminal E over here. This is like sort of, I would say it's probably still not as good as their Humberside interior. Probably not, but it's miles better. This over here should really be what's going on over here. And I don't even think we've got any ATC interiors either. We've still got more terminal to see though, of course. So let's have a little look around. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, let's have a little look. Yeah, it's not. Looking at it, yeah, it is a lot of work. But I think maybe if I'm gonna just my 2 cents, my opinion, charge a bit more. If you think to yourself, well, listen, we only want to charge a certain amount. I don't know. Do the whole thing. Make your upgrade fee a bit bigger, but say, listen, the upgrade fee is a tenner, but you'll find out that it's worth it because we've absolutely renovated it all. You know, we've upgraded it all. We've done every little bit we can of the existing airport. So I do have to apologise on this one. FlyTampa, I love your work. The scenery, the actual Vegas scenery is lovely. Night lighting is actually really nice anyway. I mean, if we have a little look. If we have a look, the night lighting for the terminal is more than acceptable. But it is going to obviously show the outdatedness of the work inside. So, but it's still nice. Do you know what I mean? There's no control tower interiors. That control tower, I don't know if it's an active one that they use, but you know, it looks dead. And I try my best to be so positive with sceneries, but. Yeah, I understand, but I don't even think that was mostly people's gripe about the update. It was mostly due to the elevation issues and obviously how long the update has taken to come out, more so than the terminal interiors. ATC on slide slopes really good as well. I spent so long just looking around the interior I need to get it, mate. I'm gonna have a look at it. Let's have a little look. Let's have a little look. And this is the thing, guys. Like I've said a few times, I absolutely love Humberside. FlyTampa's Humberside, yeah, it's a hell of a lot smaller, but it's so nice. Glide Slope Pro, there we go. And it is actually called Harry Reid as well. So it's got the newer name. I tell you what, the POIs look nice, don't they? Oh, it's got people in it. The windows look nice. The sphere, the actual sphere animations, just from the screenshots, look insane. Oh, hang on. The tower as well. What's the tower called? Is it the Stratus Tower? The Stratus Tower looks incredible as well. Yeah, that the screenshots of the interior, hell of a lot better. Yeah, absolutely. Also, the Vegas sign, also just, they've done, it looks like they've done quite a lot of work, although the picture is taken from right on the grass upwards, so it looks like they might not have done as much, but it does look better. Actually, it does look nicer there. up there, sir. FlyTampa Las side is the best. It's great. It's good. People are not animated, if I correct. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Animated people are, you know, give or take. Really, I can't really fuss too much on that. It is nice to see animated passengers in the terminals, but I can understand with performance and stuff, especially if your scenery's this big. As you can see, we still have, you know, animated trains and trams going across. That still say McCarran on them. Performance seems much better on this side of the airport as well. Just check, I actually own the glide slope one as well, forgot. Glide slope should improve both Delano and Mandalay Bay the way they did with the Stratosphere. The Stratosphere from that screenshot just looks impeccable. Like, it looks so nice. But I think I am actually going to have to try their version of Vegas out because it looks very, very good. I don't think this has been updated either, but we'll have a little look. No. Everything's still sort of 2D. It's like Tomb Raider on PlayStation 1, this. this. Oh, it's a shame. It is a shame, isn't it? It is a shame, but I don't know. I want to be positive and say, you know, it's still quite a nice sort of scenery package. But oh, it's you know, let's be critical here. Version 3 has taken quite a long time. 2024 came out. What are we looking at now? You know, it's going to be 2 years soon, and Vegas was a very, very popular scenery. It didn't work in 2024. We have to wait for this update, and it released. It had its issues. It got fixed quite quickly. We've had the F1 sort of part of the F1 track added in, Top Golf added in. The scenery itself, if you look off the background, there's so many landmarks. There really is. Can't fault it on that. Wait, what's that? Yeah, every so often that happens. But honestly, I really would have liked the airport to have been upgraded a bit better. Yeah. For me, or at least for me personally, I think with these sceneries, obviously it's known as Vegas. It's not strictly the airport, but I think the airport is the first thing, isn't it? It's nice having all these, but spend a little less time on them, maybe. I honestly, it is a shame to see that most of the airport isn't done, because really they didn't have to do all these, you know, long pier extension arms. They just maybe do the actual gates, each of the gates, the main part. You don't need to do every single interior. Would have taken long them to upgrade the scenery? Yeah, it probably would have, but it would have been nice if we had Terminal E concourse matching up. It's still a nice looking airport scenery, don't get me wrong. Animated assets there, cars and coaches and trams, but again, the cars in the car park are nice models. The car park itself could have done with a bit more of a spruce up, you know, the actual ground markings, the textures on the floor. The animated cars, again, probably a bit outdated. I am picking at things that could have possibly been updated, especially for a paid upgrade. But I am certainly not saying, you know, you should have done this, you should have done that, because it's up to the developer what they do, and it's easy for people to jump online and say they've missed this, they've missed that, but it depends how long it's taken them, it depends how hard it is for them to do. There's a lot of factors, so I am going to mix the negatives with some positives as much as I can, because I don't want to just be like, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. But always consider, if you are going to charge an upgrade fee, that people are going to expect things. They're definitely going to kick off if there's elevation issues as bad as they are, you know, or at least as bad as they were in version 3. Oh no, you can buy every for don't bother. Yeah, the landmarks are fantastic. It's, you know, it's a very, very comprehensive scenery when it comes to the actual, you know, the landmarks, the buildings in Vegas. Absolutely, you can't fault that. It's actually not all of them, just half. You have to buy another pack for 90. Listen, the only thing I'm going to say about M Scenery is Microsoft should not be putting them on the marketplace. They should not be allowing people to buy them. Those aircraft are freeware at very best, and there is some better freeware aircraft out there. Let's just end it like that with M Scenery. There is a Janet Airlines 737 over there as well. I'm actually looking forward to the Area 51 kind of thing that they're planning to do, you know, FlyTampa. They're doing this Area 51 that they briefly teased, Area 51 add-on. I don't know what that's all about, but I really like the idea of that. So if we have a little look, I believe, I apologize. Yeah, no, most of the marketplace is just a big junkyard. It is. It's terrible. And then there's actual genuine developers on them are trying to get on the marketplace, and Microsoft are knocking them back. Do you know what I mean? I've spoke to a few developers, not massive developers, you know, if you like to call them indie developers, and they're getting their stuff knocked back for stuff like that. But as you can see, guys, there is the elevation issue that you can see. I believe this is north of it. Now, this basically shouldn't be like this. This elevation does not exist. So they have fixed some things, but in the process, things have been buggered up. Alex, good friend and moderator of the channel. Good to see you, mate. I know you messaged me before. I don't know if you messaged me back. I apologize if I didn't message back. Will it be soon? I'm not telling you, mate. I'm not allowed to tell you. I'm not allowed to tell you. Oh, I need to look at that. I'm just at the one of the original Belugas, not the Beluga XL. Is doing that Thursday. Oh, Thursday. Beluga 5, one of the original Belugas, is doing a fly past before landing. Be some nice pictures, that though. I might try and do that. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'll message you on Discord about what we were talking about. But yeah, there is elevation issues here, guys, as you can see. Photogrammetry isn't amazing, but this is the other side of basically what was introduced in version 3.1, and is this kind of, yeah, sort of elevation lump just north of the airport. Again, quite a large one. You can actually see where it's an anomaly. I can't say it. Anomaly. There you go. I can only say it once or twice. But it's kind of like it bumps up there, and yeah, it shouldn't be there. But you know, the one over here near runway 26, this is gone, thankfully. We're just, you know, you've reintroduced a couple of others with fixing version 3, and yeah, I'm not gonna give developers a stick. I don't believe it's, you know, where's it, you know, yeah, you paid for an upgrade fee, and it is what it is. Let them fix it. Should it occur in the first place? No, absolutely not. But Jesus, you know what I mean? People are too fast to just badmouth people. I understand that it's I understand, but give them a rest. Have you tried PMG? I haven't, mate. No, not yet. Looks like San Francisco. Yeah, it does. But yeah, this big lump here shouldn't be here. But no, I haven't tried PMDG yet, mate. I didn't pay any upgrade fee. I didn't pay the upgrade fee for it because I won't use it. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. But let's have a look at the more positive things. Let's take a look at Top Golf and the F1 track, or at least part of the F1 track. You can see there it's a lovely animated screen. It's a lovely point of interest, obviously. It's not the whole F1 track. That would have been pretty cool, though, I guess. I know it doesn't happen all year round, but it would have been cool to just stick it in there. There you go. The animations are great. The lighting and the animations are spot on. I absolutely can't fault FlyTampa for that. Do you use any night preset for Atmos, by the way? No, mate. I haven't got Rex Atmos turned on at the minute. I have been fiddling with it recently, though. Last night I tried to upgrade my version 3 of my preset and made it a bit better, I guess. But no, I'll try and show Rex Atmos on the stream in a bit. My version 4, which again, everyone's tastes differently with Rex Atmos, but I haven't got like a specified night one. Although it would be nice if I could make one. But yeah, the F1 sort of stand there, and then there is Top Golf as well. That's the two newest. That's the ones that they added in with the update. Not bad at all. Again, the point of interest modeling is pretty good. Is that Bad Bunny? Don't know. Is it? I don't know what that is. Not bad. Have they got a swimming pool in their golf thing? It looks like they have, haven't they? But as you can see, it's all modelled. The lighting again is fabulous. It's really nice. And it looks like, for the most part, everything seems to be modelled to, you know, obviously it's not modelled to a really, really high fidelity, but again, you got to ask yourself, they've modelled this Top Golf and it actually looks better than the original airport sceneries. You know, the interiors we looked at before that weren't actually updated or upgraded. It looks nicer than that, doesn't it? Like, it really does. Look at that. They've even put the golf clubs in. Do you know? So, the question here is, would you rather have a really nice golf range, or would you have preferred the terminals to be redone? For me, me personally, it's whether you want the Top Golf points of interest as you depart the airport. Look at that, though. Look at that for a shot. Love to see it. Did we need the Formula One thing? I mean, I'm assuming that this is obviously now a permanent fixture that will be there until they obviously the Formula 1 comes back around again. I think probably more people would want the airport to be upgraded to a higher standard. It's nice that they've added in some new points of interest, but if you have a look at the actual city itself, it was always very good anyway. The animations are fantastic. You know, some of the stuff's got screens on them. The MGM and then the Comrade as well. The Comrade's actually got massive big screens on it. Where is it? Over there. Like the lighting and animations is probably up there, around the same, maybe a bit less than Indie Builds. Indie Builds are fantastic with their lighting engine and how they have the animations on buildings, and FlyTampa does it really well. But again, these points of interest, they're absolutely fine, but they're probably now a bit outdated compared to some of the others. Like, let's compare it to Indie Builds, Doha and Dubai, for example. The buildings are not like a 2D texture. They're actually almost fully modeled. Not interiors as well, but they are visually more up to date, let's just say that. But it's still fantastic. It is, you know, the scenery for Vegas is great. The lighting is fantastic. I think the lighting is a lot better than it was due to 2024. 2024's lighting engine is just a lot better. I think beforehand, I remember loading into version 2, I think, or at least just the default Vegas before installing this, and the lighting's not nice. It's just there's too much bloom, there's too much lights in it as well. They'd be a performance killer in VR. I need to have a little look in VR. I did do what was I in? Was I in the Vision Jet in VR over Vegas? But it wasn't the nighttime, it was daytime, and it was alright. But again, I'm just taking off screenshot value, but the screenshot of Glide Slope Pro's stadium here just looks a bit more visually updated, or the visual quality, the modeling quality just seems a bit better. But again, I really can't do that from a screenshot. Does look nice though. You know, only seeing Vegas on screen on a TV show and a you know, yeah, I'd love to go. I've got absolutely no interest in gambling, but there's so many food buffets there, and I do like food, so look at that. This real-time tracking thing is, as I say, I'm not going to keep hold of it, but because it's tracking the aircraft, its actual route, when you see him banking out of airports and, you know, actually following what it says on flight radar, it looks so cool. And it looks great in Vegas as well. I'm not too sure what that one is over there. Oh, he's crashed. Oh no. Please say me that's not actually happened in real life and we've just witnessed it. No way. No, let me see what that is. I'm curious now. I'm curious. Let's see. Can we see what that is on map? It's over there now. It's going to be hard. It might be I don't know if GA planes are actually... That Southwest is going to San Diego, anyway, if anyone was wondering. That was a DA-42, possibly? I don't think... But actually, there's more of it going on over there. Is it a helicopter? I don't think the real-time tracking does helicopters. Sorry guys, I know we're here to see Vegas, but I've distracted myself now. That keeps on dipping down. What's going on? Is it these 172s over here? Yeah, there's a pair of 172s flying around in a circuit. Anyway. Anyway. It could be aliens. It could very well be aliens, mate. That's the thing to consider. I think it's a similar case with landmarks as it is with the airport. The new landmarks like Topgolf are better. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think any other landmarks have... I don't think... It does say replace numerous library objects, but I don't know where we're seeing that. Maybe on the ground surface equipment, maybe. I don't know. But yes, the Topgolf and the Formula 1, definitely more up to date visually, which makes sense because obviously they're going to be using techniques and you know, basically modeling that they've been doing for Humberside, which is obviously a more up to date airport. I think FlyTampa's Humberside is probably the last major you know, airport they've done for 2024, at least I can remember. I don't think they've done anything. FlyTampa's airports seem to be very few and far between, but yeah, there's none of these from what I've seen so far. The actual globe, not the globe, the sphere looks, when it's in the daytime, the model of it looks a lot nicer than what's there in default, because I think in default scenery, Vegas does have a few like handcrafted models, but the sphere definitely isn't as... See, look how intricate that is. There's actually, you can see the metal, almost like the metal netting and the LEDs and the lights on it. This looks to me again like they've either updated it for the new lights on it, because I don't it might have looked like that originally. I don't know. Imagine if it had an interior though, and you could actually but yeah, definitely it doesn't look like they've updated any of the existing things to kind of go with the newer ones. Oh, hang on. McLaren Steve, you can select light aircraft be displayed with PSA. Oh, hang on. Interesting. Yeah, they've left the old landmarks. Definitely, the old landmarks are just the same. As you can see, like, they're absolutely fine as something you're seeing from a distance, which again is okay by me. It's just not the most recent modeling you're seeing from other developers. That's all. You're not. It's not the standard you're getting from like the likes of Any Builds with their custom buildings. Like that Glide Slope Pro version, absolutely, from the screenshot, absolutely blows that out the water. Like, that is just very, very flat texturing. I can't really be any nicer on that one. It is what it is, isn't it? It's... Yeah, they've done nothing to their previous models. There's absolutely no way. But again, they're still good. They're still nice, you know. They're still really nice. Like, for example, if you're looking at them... So here's the thing. If you're not bothered in having these really, really high fidelity, and again, these could affect performance if they are really, really high quality. As you take off from Vegas or land into Vegas using these runways here, let's do a little experiment. Let's follow this frontier. With his jerky movements. This is the line of sight. This is your point of view of what you're getting, and that is perfectly fine. And this is the thing FlyTampa have probably thought, listen, why should we make the buildings look absolutely, visually just really, really intricate, like having parallaxed windows and 2D interiors. There's actually a tram down there. I've not noticed that. Why has it disappeared? It's there. It disappears when you zoomed in. Hey ho. But there is a tram going around, which is pretty cool. This is the height you're getting over the city, and this is your view. That view for me, absolutely fine. Really, really nice. Although that frontier was quite high, wasn't it? Where's this one going? He's turning off. Quality, like performance-wise, what 40s, your 50s, depending on the area. No, the elevation issues shouldn't have been there from the get-go. That's something that really should have been nipped in the bud after so long. They fixed them quite quickly, great, but there's new ones introduced. Obviously, the new ones now are now affecting the other side of the north of the runway, so, they are still visible. And yeah, I would say probably the city looks nicer in the daytime. In my opinion, it looks nicer. The visual quality of them in the daytime looks nicer. What I mean by this is the uniformity of the lights on these buildings. For me, again, I have not been to Vegas. Is that a completely gold lit up building? I don't know. I think it still looks really, really... I think if I'm gonna guess, some of these buildings the lighting is baked in and it's not dynamic lighting. I'm gonna try and pretend what I know what I'm talking about here, but the lights on this building, it looks like the whole building's glowing up. Do you know what I mean? Like that billboard there probably does have some kind of light to it. Good example is the Formula 1 building and the Top Golf. That looks like the lighting is not real time, but it's properly lit up to where the part of the building would be lit up. Dynamic lighting. I don't know how better to say it or better to explain myself here, but the MGN Grand. I need reference here. Yeah, I mean, from the pictures, it... See, even the pictures... Oh, and I'm not being sort of nitpicky here. What I'm saying is we're talking about the existing buildings being the same, and obviously the original terminals still being the same. This is all absolutely not me going, it's absolutely terrible. They haven't it's still not worth it. Which, by the way, if you use this scenery on 2020 and you still need it to be upgraded and work, it is now working. It's a lot better. There is elevation issues, but it works. You're gonna have to decide whether it's worth your £5 or so to make that upgrade. It's funny because these buildings look correct. I'm just spitballing. I'm just having a look at things. The castle, for example, that the lighting on there. It's just some of these buildings look a bit more. See this here and the MGM Grand, the whole building. This looks spot on. I can't remember what that one is. The one with the Penn and Teller on it there. Again, the lighting on that is actually really good as well. Some of them look a bit more outdated than the others. That's the point I'm trying to make. I am curious to see what GlideSlope Pro's version is actually like. I'm very curious now. I'm gonna have to try and get my hands on that in the next week or so. And the stadium as well, but I think the stadium was introduced a bit later. Mandalay Bay, again, the lighting on that compared to the MGM Grand. I hope you understand what I mean. Yo, yeah, absolutely, guys. Listen, it's not a blast at FlyTampa. Or the point I'm trying to make is some things look a bit more outdated than the others, and consider this as a 2024, not an update, it's an upgrade, because, you know, I think update maybe along the lines of free upgrade fee. I don't know. I'm talking trash now. I'm talking trash now. But yeah, this isn't a free update. It is a paid upgrade, and yeah, okay, it's on the smaller side, but maybe I just wanted to see a bit more update. I don't know. Maybe because, again, looking at the picture of GlideSlope Pro's Vegas sign just on the outskirts here, their Vegas sign just looks a bit more, the landscaping around it, for me, just on the screenshot again, until I can get my hands on it, can't give that 100%, but the landscape around it just looks a bit more, looks a bit better. The sign looks great. The sign, definitely the you know, actually, is it more up to date? Maybe not. Maybe the lights have just been a bit more polished. All I'm saying, guys, is that there will be people, and I'm trying to get the point across that there will be people who are a bit more not tolerant, and I know from what I've read on the forums that there's a lot of people who are just flat out angry with the fact that the elevation issues occurred from version 3, the original release, and that they are still elevation issues. I haven't read anything about sort of interiors and stuff like that. I am going to just tell PC... Actually, do you know what? I'm going to look at that P6, because McLaren, you said you can... Oh, mine's ticked light aircraft, but you can say fighter jets and helicopters, but I don't know... Why can you only do one at a time? I wonder if fighter jets and helicopters are for... You can't actually tick helicopters and light aircraft in PCXT. Interesting. I didn't even know see that was an option. That's interesting. I didn't see that. Some of the lighting lacks depth. I think that's the best way to describe it, actually, Tom. I think it was... I just couldn't describe it. What I mean is that... I don't know, because the MGM Grand, maybe... It does look... Yeah, I mean, it does look very, very green. Yeah, I think depth is good. I think some of these, if you look at them compared to, say, this hotel, the Mandalay Bay, and the actual arena, the stadium here, some of it looks not as good. That's all. That's all that I mean. I do prefer FlyTampa as a sphere to glide slope scenery. The images changes like 10 seconds, which is quite fast. Yeah. Although the actual sphere resolution, again, off the screenshots that I've seen on Sim Market, the animation of the sphere looked... Mind you, that's actually the resolution on that is perfectly great, isn't it? Look at that. Not bad at all. Oh, I apologise, guys. I've got something on my screen. I'm sorry if that's been on there. Apologies. Apologies. Yeah. The resolution's actually really, really good. But I just saw it on Sim Market. The screenshots of the sphere. It showed briefly the globe, the moon surface one, and it looked really good. But animation timings, yeah, these seem to happen. Is it every hour? Maybe I don't. Maybe every half an hour. Actually. Every 10 minutes. Maybe less. 5 minutes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 8 seconds. 8 minutes. Like the basketball, really, really nice. You can actually still see some of the interior of the structure as well. But I am curious to see Glide Slope Pro's version now. Now that you guys have talked about it. Again, stratosphere. I don't know if that's sort of how white it is. It sounds like I'm being picky. Absolutely not, guys. I am, for me, really the only negative I'm currently feeling a bit let down about is the interiors, only because Terminal E's concourse was just really, really nicely done. It's just a shame not to see the other bits of interior done. But yeah, bit of a shame. In real life, it is all right. Yeah, see, this is the thing. Again, I'm only basing it off a screenshot, but one of the screenshots of Glide Slope Pro's Vegas, the sphere looks the resolution looks amazing. But again, the tower looks really, really nice as well. I'm gonna have to see how you enable helicopters and fighter jets, because It's blanked out here. I am going to turn the air traffic off, guys, because it's doing me head in. It's too loud. Yeah, interesting. I don't know if GlideSlope Pro's one in the daytime is lit up. Yeah, I would say, looking at the pyramid, the Mandalay Bay nighttime shot of GlideSlope Pros, I would say I would give the edge to FlyTampa's here. Turning into a bit of a comparison stream, but the night lighting of the Luxor and the Mandalay Bay, I'm going to give it to FlyTampa on this one, purely because the Mandalay Bay looks just completely like a gold block on GlideSlope Pros. But I really do. I need to get it and have a good look at it quite soon as possible, because otherwise I will forget everything that I've looked at today. But yeah, the airport looks, I'll say unfortunately, miles better. It looks a bit more complete. It is in the daytime. That's why I really enjoy content, as you cover everything in previews. Thank you so much. I do my best. It's not for everyone. I mean, some people like to see flights from airports. I tend not to do that as much as possible. Just because I think previews of scenery, airports, you know, whatever, it should really have a look at everything, because I've said this before. Trailers are good, cinematics are good. I'm gonna say that because obviously I've done a fair few on my YouTube channel in the last couple of years. I quite enjoy doing them. It's quite nice to be creative, but don't forget, trailers and cinematics are there to make the product look immaculate, aren't they? Let's face it. If you're making a cinematic and a trailer for a product for your airport, or you get someone else to do it, you're going to want the finer details. You're going to want all the little bits that you've emphasized while building or when making the feature list. And, you know, you're going to, I don't know, let's do a live example here. You know, look at the lighting on the side of the car park here. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna want to emphasize the bits that you've done. So, you know, I really like the Vegas sign here, didn't I? You know, so when someone's making a video, a trailer, you know, a promotional bit of artwork for your lovely new airport, a little sweeping shot there. I don't know. You want to get the reflections in, the lighting in. That's one side of it. I am then not, as a developer, gonna want. And yeah, okay, I know as a developer you're not going to catch all the bugs, and you're going to be able to prevent something, because after hearing from quite a few developers who are now friends of mine, and I speak to them near enough every week, sometimes things don't appear on your development side until they've appeared in someone else's sim. I've had things happen on my end that haven't happened to someone else's. But what I'm saying is, trailers are great because I'm not saying hide things, but I'm not going to emphasize the low textures of this gate here. Look at the gate. It's 2D. Do you know what I mean? I am not, as a developer. See, that's not an issue. That's actually there. FlyTampa have developed it like that. for whatever reason, performance, because it's not really important. But in the trailer, I ain't gonna be doing, look at the lovely modelled gate. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So, trailers and cinematics are great. I love doing them. But when it comes to videos of airports and trying to show people absolutely everything, if something's flickering, if something is misaligned, if something's missing, I mean, but look at the actual building quality. Look, if you look at the Terminal E here, look at the actual quality. Like this right now, this is what I expect 2024 to be. This kind of quality for a terminal. The glasswork, look at the glasswork and the metalwork. But then equally, that's sort of the other side of things, you know. You know, yeah. But yeah, I do like creating cinematics and trailers. Absolutely love it. I think that sometimes it's lovely, and I do like now that I've split the sort of the channel up into different sort of things, because at one point that's all my videos ever were. No live streams, just cinematics and trailers. It's nice to be back into these airports, and right now filming some of the freeware stuff, I'm jumping to all these places around the earth and going to these little small airfields or regional airports or bus strips, and I'm filming them and I'm getting to see them. You know, if I eventually tried my best and get Glide Slope Pro's version, I'll have a good look around that and just see, you know, what their version's up to, compare the both. This is, like you guys were saying, this is why you hopefully enjoy the live streams that I do, because it isn't just having a quick look at the airport and then flying out of it. It's good, it's great, because people get to see what flying out of that particular airport scenery looks like and what going on the taxiway is like. But if you want to see the level of texture work, the level of modeling, the little nuances that I try and also pick out as well, every airport, oddly, is going to sound weird, it's the same. It contains a control tower of some kind, for the most part, a terminal building, great or small, you know. So I do kind of feel like I know what things to pick out, but people are spending more and more money on these airports now. They're getting more expensive, they're getting more in depth, they're getting really, really, like, a lot of developers now are actually building interiors. I needed that. Where did I get that from? Wrong camera. Look, it's Dr. Pepper. Professor Peppy. It's Dr. Pepper. Literally just tastes the same. That's what the UK's become now, guys. You can't actually have the good stuff anymore. But yeah, I enjoy looking around these sceneries, and I've been doing bigger and bigger ones recently, and this is great, but you know, when the Sovietsky design is okay, listen, that Sovietsky 3 one wasn't at all as big as this, but you know, when that is free and this isn't, it's, you know, yeah, it's apples and oranges, whatever. It's just, it's just having that place to go to have a look at these airports in a bit more depth. Look at the actual skylight now. From what I can only, yeah, so you can actually see where the upgrade has happened here, and it looks like they haven't touched the landside portion of the airport. just the departures, so you can actually see where the texture difference comes into play in the modeling. I mean, look at the window there. Like, you know, the rivets, and you can actually see the, you know, the plates of glass, and that is lovely. That is spot on. Really, really nice. It's just a shame that the other terminal bits weren't done like that. But yeah. Now, I am just going to show you the Rex Atmos Core profile that I've been working on, which is just an upgrade to my other preset. If you've got Rex Atmos Core, you can grab it. It'll be called Practically Geek version 4, I think now. I am still working on it, so it's definitely worth having a look and seeing if it's being changed. But just as we come to the end of this live stream, guys, because I do have to go a bit earlier than usual today, I will be live on Monday with more airports. Now, these aren't brand new airports. These are actually a bit older ones. We're having a look. Well, I'm going to be looking at them for the first time. You guys might be too, or you might already know of this, and you might still want to dive into the live stream and have a little look at them. After having a look at Chevietzky Design's free airport that he released quite recently, I was curious, so I want to go back and have a look at his Warsaw Chopin. And I want to have a look at his Katowice airport, because that's his latest, and I want to go and have a look at those and have the same look around them, have a look at all the details, share it with you guys, and sort of have my first impressions, and see whether they are actually the best Polish airports you can get on the for a third-party airport. Going forward, guys, keep an eye on my social media and Discord, because I will be giving you my first look, and probably most of everyone else's first look, at EMEET's Dallas-Fort Worth. Massive airport. Live stream might be a bit longer than usual on that one, based on the size of it. I think, what is it, 5 terminals and 7 runways? So yeah, that is coming, I believe, soon. So keep an eye on that. That'll be shared to my social media. It'll be shared on a post on YouTube. It'll be shared on my Discord. Everything is linked in the stream description. My social media is there. My Discord is there. So come and enter. I absolutely share. Aerodessa will tell you, and a couple of other guys, I share absolutely everything on there. You guys can share too, your screenshots, your videos, share some news, discounts if you see any. There's various channels on there that you can share that stuff into. But yeah, I will be live with EMEET's Dallas-Fort Worth soon. I can't give you a date because I don't know, but it will be soon. It is releasing soon. They have just put the trailer out. Looks very impressive. It's a big airport. I want to have a good look around it. In fact, Dallas-Fort Worth Tower is a bit like that. A bit like that. Mind you, they are quite similar in the US, aren't they? Let's have a little look. Your Rex Atmos is what you wanted to see? Okay, well, there weren't any plans to show it originally, but let's have a little look, because my version 3 was well received originally, but I loaded up more recently and it just didn't look the way I remembered it. So that is the Atmos, and then that's the Enviro. See, for me, that has completely changed, and this is the thing with Rex Atmos. This particular screenshot now that you're seeing, not screenshot, the screen that you're seeing now, honestly, it looks better over in the UK. As in, this setup here, this preset, I built this while looking over Liverpool, and it looked fine. It looked absolutely spot on. Right now, this doesn't really go with... This might be more suited to Los Angeles, maybe, but it definitely doesn't suit Vegas. It doesn't. For me, this is not what Vegas looks like. I've not been, but the default atmosphere there looked fine. So when this preset is loaded up in, say, like where I originally sort of set it up and built it in Liverpool, it looked great. Right now in Vegas, I would say probably not, and this is probably why the only downside to Rex Atmos is that, and from what I've read, they do want to have dynamic presets. There should be a dynamic way of changing. So really, even though it's an external program and it works better than it did, there still needs to be some way of fine-tuning your preset, because there's no way of inputting actual values in it. There needs to be dynamic presets. There needs to be a way of Rex Atmos core to say, right now you're in the UK, this is your preset, or at least this is your preset for a certain location. Okay, now you're in Nevada, this is what it looks like now. Again, it also works with the day and night. Really, there should be a thing to say, this is what it is at daytime, this is what it's like at nighttime. Like, right now, that doesn't look too bad, admittedly. That looks alright. Nighttime, not really much difference. Maybe the moon's a bit mad with the illumination of the moon's a lot too much. But there's ways to change that. But as soon as I change that, it's then going to affect the daytime. And I don't know about you, I am not really keen on, if I want to just do some flying, but I also want the visuals of Rex Atmos, I don't want to be messing about with swapping the presets every time that I want to do it. For me, that actually would suit a bit more of Los Angeles, maybe, the bit more of a smoggy look. But then I can go into Atmos and again, just I can fiddle about with the values, and I can also go and then basically duplicate it and make a new preset called volume 5. So like if you wanted to bring the sun's overall glare down, you can start doing that. You can whack it all the way up there, so it's like that might be a tiny bit better. But then there's so much you can do. Like if I do that, see that, if you fiddle with that for me is probably more Vegas. And again, I've not been to Vegas, but for me, just a little more of a fiddle with that might. That, for example, that might be a bit more. That might be a bit more, Hiya, Mike. Yeah, I've seen your message, mate. It's very tempting. And Thursday's a bit more doable nowadays. I'll have to have a look. You're going to have to keep me updated, Mike, because really I wouldn't want to miss that. Let me know, mate, how would you get down there? Because I would say I don't drive. I would technically have to get a train into Chester, and obviously there's a bus from the train station, I think, or at least round the train station right to the Beluga factory, so the Airbus factory. So that'll be my way to do things. But I'd like to do that. I really would like to do that and not miss that. Weather permitting as well. If it's, you know, if it's peeing down, I don't think it would be one for me. So yeah, guys, this Rex Atmos preset that I've got version 4 is, you know, it sounds after, you know, it looks okay for some places. For Vegas, I think with a bit of an adjustment, you can get it to look a bit more suited to Vegas, something like that maybe. But once you start messing with Atmos's settings, the problem is, again, without dynamic settings, see, look at that. Like, for me, right now, that actually looks really good for Vegas. Just by bringing the particle absorption and the particle scattering down than what I had it before, you are getting a bit more of a bluer Nevada sky with a bit more not distance rendering, but you know, a little less haze, and you can see a bit further, and that actually works for Nevada quite well. But again, when you start messing with them in the day, you then completely mess things up in the night. I don't know whether that kind of weird sort of black haze off in the background is correct, and that's the point, is you want to make it realistic. You know, if you look now, the moon's, wherever it's gone, the moon's sort of light source, if you like, it's where's it gone? We've lost the moon. Anyway, the moon's light source sort of won't be as prominent, but yeah, without dynamic presets that, you know, react to different times of day, different locations, Rex Atmos Core is very limiting that way. But you know, when you get the right preset, you can get it looking really, really nice. Really nice. But yeah, I do want to try and make it to Howden on Thursday. I'm going to have a little look and see what it's all about. It is my birthday next week, guys. I don't usually like to sort of advertise that, especially with getting older. Next Thursday's the 29th. I need to see what I'm doing. I might even... family might even have something planned, so I don't know. But if 29th is free, then yeah, I do want to try and make that, because it's a big deal. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I will be back on Monday 7:30 for more airports. They aren't brand new previews, they're older airports, but it's the first time I'm looking at them properly. It might be the first time for you guys, but I want to see if it's probably not really a question, but does Jevieski Design make the best Polish airports in the sim? Probably does, yeah. And as I say, guys, Indie Builds Dallas Fort Worth is releasing soon, and I will have a pre-release preview coming up, or at least I should have, and I will try my best to get a giveaway going for that as well. So if you are interested in winning a copy of that, I'm going to try my very best to get a giveaway on that. My birthday is the 31st, mate, which is next Saturday, I think. I believe. Is it next Saturday? Where's my calendar gone? Next Saturday, yeah. So if I've not got anything planned on the 29th, then yes, I will absolutely try my best to come down. Be a nice little birthday treat, celebrating that coming back in, and hopefully getting some nice pictures. Hopefully the weather's not too bad next Thursday if I'm not doing anything. Next Thursday, raining. Ooh. Yeah, I mean pictures regardless, you know. Yeah, it's raining all day. I'll keep an eye on the weather and see what I'm doing, mate. But yeah, I'd love to, especially if a couple of us guys went, you know, yourself and Kyle and anyone else, you're welcome to come and everything. So that'd be really, really nice. Didn't notice any buffering on my screen today, which was quite nice. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go because I have to go now. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate everyone's getting involved in the chat. Everyone who's watched, who hasn't obviously been part of the chat, I appreciate it. Everyone who's going to rewatch, let me know in the comments what you think. I have rambled on a bit more than I wanted to, and probably went off on a bit of a weird one. But I hope you understand where I come from for the most part. I really, really like it. I like that we've got it working. But the fact that you guys have obviously shown me a bit more of the Glide Slope Pros version, it's becoming a lot harder now to say yes, you should upgrade for the £5, or whether you should just go and cut your losses and go and buy the other version. So this is the issue, guys. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get my hand on Glide Slope Pros version pretty soon and get some kind of comparison video going. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, I will see you again very, very soon, Monday. But yeah, look out for the IndyBuilds Dallas Fort Worth stream, pre-release stream.